Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Welcome to the BBC Spews. Been a while, hasn't it? Been a while. It's the 14th. Nice one. You can tell I've been old. Look, don't I? I'm a scruffy twat. I look like a beach bum. Yeah, I'll have a shave tomorrow. I might push through Wednesday and let myself go a bit. You know, there's still a sort of pleasure in not having to shave every day, being a bootneck. Having to do it every single day for like 10 years. You end up with a face like boiled leather, like a giant's foreskin, just craggy. So it's good not having to shave every day. I still do once a week though. I guess for doing it for that long, I can't abide a beard. They're too itchy. I had a big beard when I come back from Afghanistan. And it was always itching, so I'm not really into beards. Apparently they're fashionable now. Chicks like blokes looking like scruffy bastards, but not me. Is you late again? No, I'm here. Open your eyes. The Jason Statham look. Fuck off. I mean, I know I get people mocking my hairline as I'm aging, but Jesus, Jason Statham. He hasn't got an egg in the bun. He's just fucking bald. So there's a lot going on, hasn't there? I am going to talk about some stuff that's sort of gone on in the last week because I missed it. Some of the highlights were Meta, Facebook, deciding it was acceptable to allow full-blown hate speech. Like you can't make it up, can you? You can't make it up. I'll put like a quip or a joke, an obvious joke, and they'll ban me for a week or two. And say, oh yeah, that's shocking. Now that crosses a line, having a good-humoured quip. But when it suits them, you can just fully fucking call for murder. Like the lunatics, these people that run the fucking world nowadays. Absolute lunatics. Which I can segue from the word absolute fucking lunatics to talk about the Bafta, the Baftas, because now if there's a collection of lunatics, if ever I saw one, not just the inane dog shit that they come out with, but every aspect of the personalities, from the politics down to their bizarre sexual proclivities. They're just fucking perverts. The people that run the world are all freaks. Jack Doorstop, everybody knows he's a sex pest. Like, that's been all over the internet. That guy's a fucking weirdo. Genuine, he's the type of bloke who takes sexual gratification from nailing his own scrotum to the fucking kitchen floor. The bloke's a fucking freak. And these are the ones who want to give us, like, advice on life. And it's the same with the Baftas. That you've got a collection of drug-addled, pill-popping, sexual deviant scumbags who think that they should give you life advice. Like, life advice? If I want life advice from pill-popping sex pests, I'll go and fucking talk to the local smackhead. You know, the local crusty fucking pill-popping sex pest who just hangs around the bushes, wanking himself off when 12-year-old girls are necking off with the boyfriends at the bus shelter. It's lunacy. How have the daftest people in the world got a say on normal things? Actors. I mean, honestly, actors. It's like actors weighing on serious political issues now. It's madness. You might as well ask a plumber. At least a plumber like reads the paper on his break every day. Actors don't even do that. They live in a fantasy land, in gated communities, and they fucking pretend for a living. You pretend for a living like a child. I was an actor when I was 8, and I was on that fucking, I can't even remember the play now. Valdari, Valdara. We did a play. I got I was good at reading, so I got like the second starring role or something. I'm an actor. When I was 8, then I fucking grew up, you cunts. These people, people are worthless. The one good thing about them is, I've talked about this before, Samuel. The one good thing about actors is that I think I'll have a lot of pleasure derived from the end of the world. So there'll be an icing on the cake when the fucking bombs rain down, whether it's the mullahs nuking us because we're too busy talking about sucking each other off, or the Russians, I can't see that end of the world shit with them, but we'll see. As no matter what happens, as long as the world ends, I'll have something to laugh at because actors will be useless. Like if 90% of the population's dead and we're living in a pestilential fucking radioactive wasteland, I can cackle as the bombs rail down because I'll just be so pleased to know that the actors and the singers will be more useless than me. Like when it comes to roughing it, Bootneck's up there with the best of them. Yeah, I can survive off fucking rain. I can, and now I'm not going to give it the Charlie Bigspuds and say, because I was in Dakar for 10 years, all of a sudden I'm fucking Johnny Rambo and I can eat shit that'd make a billy goat puke. I can't, but I'll do a better job of it than them. I can shoot. I know rudimentary survival skills. I was forced to pull a chicken's head off and punch a fucking rabbit to death when I was a recruit. I can do the basics. I know that if you hollow out a bit of fucking bark and fill it with water and stick it on a fire, for some bizarre reason, the ball doesn't burst into flames. Again, don't know why. I'm not a scientist. Physics, that's probably chemistry. I don't know, but I know the basics. So I can probably do better if I have to than Benedict Cumbertwat. Like, what's Benedict Cumbertwat going to do? Worms are a treat. Worms are not a treat. Yeah, I sort of bottled it when you're in Nod and you have to eat shit like that. I used to just like put a few grubs in my mouth and go, and then sort of down them sort of hot, solid like pills. No chewing. That's for mountain leaders. They're the sex pests who like suck out the rabbit's eyeballs and shit. Yeah, none of that for me. But I'll do better than Benedict Cumbertwat. Right? I'm sure I could suck a rabbit's eyeball out if I was forced to. Benedict, he'll be he's going to just have to black up. Benedict and Justin will just black up and fucking hitchhike to Somalia. But so fuck up. Cheery optimist, me. I'll be chuckling as the bombs rain down because I know I'll be having an easier time of it than the bastard actors. Anyway, what should I talk about? We've got the Nordic way to stop bullying. We've got celebrities at the Baftas. We can do that. War in Ukraine. I don't want to talk about the war anymore. I'll tell you what. We'll just do the one I'm on for now, shall we? And if the time doesn't tick away, we'll go through a few more. But this one caught my eye because the BBC, as I keep saying, and all of you wise, sensible ladies and gentlemen that have been following Bootneck for a while now, the BBC actively promotes things that they know are harmful. Because this is something of a conspiracy, the reasons to why. But we do know that they actively promote things that are harmful. That isn't conspiracy. The reasons are the conspiracy. And I'll talk about that in a minute. When you see constant stories on the BBC like, we're fucking for morbidly obese models and we're proud of our disgusting fucking... I mean, seriously, I think the headline, I'd done it on here 6 months ago. I think the headline was like, why we're proud of our fat bodies. When you're promoting things like that, you are actively harming people, right? Just so everybody's aware. It's not a conspiracy theory. If you're telling young people, you know what you should do? Exercise 4 or 5 times a week? No. You should be a fat fucker. You should have a body like a military sleeping bag filled with fucking jelly. That's what you should look like. Just zip tie the top and that's you. That's brilliant. That's what you should do. If you promote not doing fizz and being a fat fuck, you're harming people. You don't care. My body's a temple, shame it's in ruins. You know, there was a shitty nightclub in Middlesbrough and it was £1 a bottle on a Friday night and everyone used to go in and it was called the Temple. So I used to say my body is the temple. It's full of cheap drink. David Horrocks, don't want to know. Good evening, I was busy pulling the head off it. Don't want to know that, Dave. If you want to fling yourself around your grot, mate, that is your own business. So we know that the BBC promotes things that are bad for you. They promote threesomes all the time. You seen? I shared one months ago, maybe a year ago now, where it was like, why having a menage a trois is better for you? It's not better for you. We know it's not better for you. We know it's not better for you. Traditional wives in committed relationships with one partner are happier, healthier, wealthier, less depressed, less anxious than yo-yo knickered slut buckets that fucking get rogered senseless out the back of Spa by a different bloke every fucking weekend. We know this. It's a fact. It's not a theory. It's not a theory. So why do we pretend? I'm sick of that, and I'm sick of lefty wankers. As of the channels grew, I've started getting lefty wankers in the chat more often. I'm sick of them coming on and going, okay, no, that's not right. It is right. Unless I'm overtly and obviously joking, which, to be fair, is a lot of the time. But when I'm being serious, I'm not wrong ever. That's just, I know that sounds staggeringly conceited, but it's like I read it. I read it with my own two eyes. I know the numbers. I've seen the numbers. Women in a stable, loving relationship are happier. These women that live off the cuff on apps. Oh, who am I fucking bumming tonight? These women that just go through 40 blokes in a year, they're not happy. They're more likely to be depressed. They're more likely to be addicted. They're more likely to be fucking popping pills or getting pissed on a Tuesday night in the kitchen by themselves. Everybody knows this. This is why I promote it. It's not because I'm a fucking dyed-in-the-wool conservative. I never have been, and I'm still not. But I've been forced into the arms of the conservative people because of the data. In every political compass I've ever done, as you're all aware, I've been centre left. I'm left because I'm socially liberal. But I can't, being an ENTP, logic before all type of personality, I can't ignore data, metrics, numbers and percentages. And when you see, oh yeah, you read like a New Scientist article, and it's like women that are married are like 4 times less likely to self-harm than women that aren't married and shit like that. You go, fucking hell. There you go. And the BBC promotes it all the time. All the time. You shouldn't get married. You should leave a fucking snail trail everywhere you walk because you're getting rinsed every night by fucking random Egyptian sailors. They promote this lifestyle knowing it hurts people. That's why it's immoral. That's why it's not a quip when I say the BBC is immoral communist propaganda. It's immoral. If you know telling people to be fat, pill popping, polygamists, you're hurting them. It's not a fucking conspiracy. Yeah? So take your fucking slime slot and go back to the, whatever it is, the orgy, and you knock yourself out, fella. Same with like Shane Warne. Has everyone seen the leaked? I mean, I don't really follow this type of shit because I'm old. Boring old balding cunts like me aren't really interested in celebrity sex pests. But a friend of mine sent me leaked WhatsApp images of Shane Warne. Basically, Shane Warne kicked the bucket because he was 52 and because he wasn't happily married. He was living like a fucking 25-year-old, lunatic. And apparently he was having like a threesome with a load of birds, and there was some alarming graphic pictures because, frankly, I don't want to see a 50-year-old man's arsehole in my WhatsApp group. There was some alarming pictures of him on a bed with loads of slacks, and he's been doing Viagra and coke and fucking all that shit. And there he is, popping his clogs, 52. This is the thing. So that there is a real-world analogy I'm giving you from the data that I've seen. We know this is true. We know, and gentlemen, you know that it's true. Some part of you, because it's harder for men, again, because of biology. I know I keep segueing off because there's too much information in the bootneck brain. But there's a biological reason for why men and women are different. Is obviously men, there's no price to pay for your sexual activity. Well, other than flesh-eating STDs, but I don't think they were quite as bad 2,000 years ago. So, women are not as filthy as men because women have a high price to pay. So a woman in the wild, pregnant, you're slower, you need to eat more. There's a massive chance of death in pregnancy. Think about us. We've been in this form for 250,000 years or whatever. There's a massive price to pay for women who have sex. That can get pregnant, the predators will slow them down, they'll fucking die in pregnancy. Men, the only downside is slim chance you'll get an STD. That's it. So men are brainwashed to shag everything. Women aren't. And again, these women who try and convince themselves that they'll be as happy as a man by acting like a man are living in a fucking fantasy land. Women don't like 6 different blokes a week hanging out the back of them. They're not like men. And again, the BBC promoting it constantly is harming women. Pretending that women love behaving exactly like men is scientifically illiterate, which they love going on about. Fucking love science. I fucking love science. There's no fucking science on that website. The people that go on about how much they love science typically know less about science than fucking Diane Abbott. And Diane Abacus she's still on words in a fucking tin. Anyone remember getting words in a tin when you're in primary school? I've just lost 50% of the audience there. If you're under 40, probably don't know it, but I used to get words in a tin. Like once you grasped the picture books, they used to give you a tin with a load of laminated words in. And you're on words in a tin, and that's how we learned them. Diane's still on words in a tin. Everything they say is wrong, scientifically illiterate. And they promote this fucking shit, even though they know it's bad for you. What's this got to do with Nordic bullying? Well, Martin, if you wanted succinct, direct news, you wouldn't watch the live stream. You just watch the 5-minute videos where you just go, oh, let's talk about this. The live stream is for talking bollocks, interacting with the chat, and taking 20 minutes to get to the fucking point, right? if that's what you're not into, I apologize, but you should know the routine by now. So yeah, all of this is linked to what I'm going to talk about, because what I'm saying to you is the BBC constantly promotes things that they know are bad for you. And this is another example. So I'll quickly cover the story, and then I'll tell you how to stop bullying without talking absolute fucking bollocks, right? So that was what the 20-minute preamble was for. Endless reams of evidence as to the BBC promoting activities and actions and solutions that are bad for your health and bad for your life and bad for your wife. That's what the 20-minute preamble was for, right? So fuck them. So fuck the BBC. That was the point of the 20-minute prep. Fuck the BBC. The BBC. Right. We'll start now. For Martin, we'll start. This is the Nordic way to stop bullying. Bullying can make children's lives a misery. No fucking shit. But scientists are discovering powerful ways to fight it. Here we go. Here we fucking go. What you need to do is you need to go and get your chakra in order by sitting in a wigwam with a fucking beardy bloke, a beardy weirdy, and eat some fucking guacamole and learn how to hum. And then the bullies will love you. What you do is you get a white witch to cast a fucking spell. Fuck off. These are the people. I love science. Cast a spell, you cunt. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah. Some hippie told me that in a bar once. Oh, I'm actually a white witch. I was like, oh yeah, you're a white witch, are you? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be the fucking Conan the Barbarian. Come on, cast a spell on me and I'll fucking stick the nut on you. See who wins. See who wins, witch. Jesus. Right. So there's loads of people who've been bullied, right? Yeah, we know that. My own who's got a nemesis? We're a pair of Daniels from rural Yorkshire. They had the habit of mimicking and mocking everything I said, so I barely dared speak in class. Anyone who's been victimised as a child, victimised. It's even that's a bit much, isn't it? Victimised. We've all been bullied. Seriously, I'm not just saying this like a tough guy. I wasn't born a tough guy. This decor shaped me, moulded me from clay. Like clay, I shall mould them into the emperor's fist. I got bullied when I was at school. First year seniors was bad. I remember going from primary school. I had a nice, relatively pleasant primary school. For Middlesbrough standards, you would almost say it was posh. The class size was small. There's about 20 of us. The teachers were soft as shite. And then when I went to the big school, it was bad. My first week, I remember, was a lad 2 or 3 years older than me, and he fucking punched me in the face because I was arguing with him. He said he wanted to look at my hat. I said, what do you want to have a look at my hat for? I don't know why, but in Borough, when it was cold, everyone was wearing woolly hats that were fashionable at the time. If you had a good one, a branded one, they used to fucking just mug you, basically mug you. And I remember getting twatted in the face. He lamped, just took my hat off me. And I went home in tears. It's like the first time I've been lamped by a fucking bloke 2 years older than me, 2 or 3 years older than me. And I always remember because the next day, my brother physically dragged him over to me when I went in with my older brother. He was 4 years older than me. So when I was in first year, he was in fifth year. And he physically grabbed the cunt and dragged him over. I was like, that's him. Fingered him to my brother. And he brought him over, got him in a headlock and fucking took his hat off him and gave it to me. And that was what happened. But I went home in tears because I got lamped and I got mugged, basically. And then my dad told me, this is what you have to do. You have to stand up for yourself, which is what we all know without me reading any further. We know that's how you sort of bully out. So just to put a pin in that, that's the answer. You're too funny to get bullied. You know what else I remember once? I remember this is in first year as well. I remember a bloke, a bully, coming over and wanted to take me sweets off me. I went, get off, and like tried to cower away from him. And he had like a 20p mix in his hand, and he bunched it up in his fist and brayed me over the top of the head. You know, like a pear drop. He went, ew. And I remember saying to him, at least I can lick my wounds. And he looked at me like I was a fucking lunatic, like he didn't get the reference at all. Obviously, a 13-year-old thug hadn't read as many comic books as I had or whatever, heroic fantasy. But yeah, I remember that well, vividly. Twatted me over the head with a 20p mix-up, and when I said, at least I can lick my wounds, he went, fucking dickhead. Anyway, so victimised. What a load of bollocks. Victimised. They said the consequences don't stop in childhood. Recent research, well, of course, it's going to be fucking recent research. The effects can linger for decades. Well, I got bullied, I got mugged, I got assaulted. They can. Every single BBC story has can in it. Because it's like, if we can find one woke fucking lunatic, we can say, that can happen. Yeah. You can masturbate whilst crying and sniffing cocaine off a man's cock and still be straight. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah, of course you can. No, you fucking can't. Just because you can find one sex pest, woke, fucking weirdo, trans poly fucking fruitcake at the Bafta's after party doesn't mean you can. You can't masturbate whilst crying and sniffing cock off a man's cock be straight. No, you can't, BBC. You just can't. With long-lasting changes can put us at greater risk of mental and physical illness. Yeah, well, they can. Anything can. Such findings are leading an increasing number of educationalists to shift their views on bullying from an inevitable element of growing up to a violation of children's human rights. I fucking love this stuff. I love it. See, people say to me in the chat, oh yeah, you're funny. It's not me. It's not fucking me. It's the BBC. This is comedy gold, this. You don't have to have a good sense of humour to come up with some fucking one-liners reading the BBC. It writes itself. It's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, look at that. How good's that? It's not just an inevitable element of growing up. Yeah, it is an inevitable element. No, it's a violation of human rights. No, listen, if on your walk to school one morning, right, a Somalian pirate stops you outside the offie and says, can I have your 10p mix? And also, I'm going to stake you to this tree whilst 20 of my men bum you. Then it's a violation of your human rights. If a Somalian bloke with a skull and crossbones on his hat jumps out from behind a tree and goes, I am the captain now, and then he bums you whilst 19 of his men look on, then they've violated your human rights. But if that doesn't happen, and he just wants the 10p mix off you, you've been bullied. And it's an inevitable element of growing up. It's not a violation of your human rights. Fuck me. People used to think bullying is a normal behaviour, and in some instances it could be a good thing because it builds character. Yeah. Explains Lewis Walknaut, a shit-for-brains professor from a communist university. It took a long time for researchers to start considering bullying as something that can be really harmful. Boo-hoo. So anyway, there's loads of bollocks in here. The Harvard Review of Psychiatry. A woman who's been bullied is 27 times more likely to have a panic disorder as an adult. If your mum and dad are fucking woke and they didn't teach you how to look after yourself. Among men, there's an 18-fold increase in suicidal ideation. Fucking blah, blah. Again, is there anyone in the chat? I don't want to come across as I'm being harsh here. Bullying's bad. It makes you cry. It's shocking. But is anyone here reading this, listening to this, who hasn't been bullied? We all get bullied. Is there anyone here who doesn't think we already know how to deal with it? No? So they suggest the stress can take a toll on the body for decades. Everyone's fucked diabetes. Yeah, you get diabetes and fucking heart attacks if you get bullied. Well, how's any of us still alive? So what do they prescribe? Well, they say that certain types may also be tolerated because of social prejudices, right? Obviously, because it's the BBC. So a significant proportion of children of lesbian mothers may be bullied more. No fucking shit. But again, is it any worse? Because they always want to make everything to do with wokeist ideology top of the tree, as always, right? Because there's the old threat pyramid, the woke threat pyramid. They always want to make like anything that they want to talk about politically worse than anything you want to talk about politically. So now they're trying to make out that if your mum's a leser and you get bullied because your mum's a leser, and you would. I mean, when I was a kid, we were all horrible to each other. You got bullied yourself when you were in first year, and then you toughen up a bit and you stand up for yourself, and then obviously you start ribbing everybody else, and that's the way it works. And yeah, if your mum was out with a girlfriend all the time when I was 12, I probably would have took a piss a little bit. You know, you'd have been like, there's the Scissor Sisters or whatever. You'd have said something. But the point is, a mate of mine, Woodsy, he never knew his dad. And because I'm white and from England, that was rare. I mean, shockingly rare, really. I suppose those good old-fashioned socially conservative values from working class people up north are actually worth something. Because I think out of all my circle of friends, he was the only one who didn't know his dad. And we used to take the piss out of him. And again, my point would be, is that worse than your mum's a leser? Like, this poor cunt didn't know his dad. And it was shocking when we take the piss out of him a little bit, like, because he was our mate, really. So it wasn't torturing him. But we all had names for each other. And we used to call him Stab and Run. Your dad did a stab and run. And Stasher Dad, we used to call him Stasher Dad as well. Like, taking the piss. And that's hurtful. If you didn't know your dad, and you're one of the only kids in the class who doesn't know your dad, and you get called Stasher Dad or Stab and Run, is that any worse than your mum being a leser? I would posit that it isn't, and that it's going to affect you psychologically like any other form of bullying. It's not nice to get bullied. So why do they have to bring woke bollocks into it again? Like, they'll bring into it. Like I said, a kid at my school, I've talked about it before, upset me when I was a kid and I didn't know my mum was bad. And someone said, who cares if your daft mum dies of fucking cancer, right? Like, someone actually said that to me because kids are cruel. That was bad. I don't believe that my mum not having cancer, my mum having a fucking girlfriend, I don't think it would have been better or worse if they'd have said, I saw your mum fucking tongue punching a girlfriend's shitlocker the other night. They'd have both been harmful. So that's my second point. Stop making everything about your woke bollocks. It's horrible to be bullied when you're a kid, period. Full fucking stop. I've been in America too long. You don't have to start talking about woke bollocks. Oh yeah, bullying's bad, but bullying you because of your sexuality is worse. It isn't. Oh yeah, you might have lost a leg to a childhood incident and got called fucking Long John Silver for 10 years, but that was nowhere near as bad as being black. Well, you'd think that because you're a fucking woke communist and a little bit racist, like they all are. these woke left fucking dickheads who just see colour and obsessed with it. So yeah, you're a bit racist and you think being black's bad, but we don't. So like, that's, to me, being mocked for having a physical disability, a genuine ailment, is worse than being mocked for your colour. I think most people would agree. Is that not a logical fucking thing to say? If you happen to be black, but you're a normal, confident kid and you don't really care, you don't view it as a disability because you're not a fucking communist. Someone takes the piss out of you in a racial manner. Is that worse than an actual personal issue that you have? Like, I knew a girl who was like tortured because she had a really bad skin. You know, she got all the local ones, all the good ones. Like, did a woodpecker try and build a nest in your fucking face? I'm sure I said that to her once because she called me something. I think she called me like fucking monobrow or whatever it was they used to call when I was a kid. Your head's a bit fucking weird. Your skull grows into it. And I said, fuck off. It looks like a fucking, it looks like a woodpecker built a nest in your face, you spotty cunt. Physical things that you have as a child are really bad. Like if you've got mega goofy teeth and yeah, you get the old, you look like you could eat an apple through a tennis racket sort of thing every fucking day at school. That probably upsets you more than just saying, ha, you're from India. But again, you can't talk sense to woke people. So bollocks. Bollocks. I'll have to do some more. Bollocks. Oh, look, homophobia is worse than any of the bollocks. Bollocks. Where's the meat of it? Oh, here we go. Fortunately, the Scandies have got a plan. What the Scandies do is they get the bully, they strap him to a table and they put his testicles in a vice. I'm kidding. That's not very Scandinavian. They have the All Wellers program. Starts with recognition of the problem. Oh yeah, sit on a couch and talk about fucking feelings with a beardy weirdy. And then what they do? They hold meetings. The children have meetings. You know what this reminded me of? Fucking Rimmer on Red Dwarf. When he gets the polymorph on where it sucks the anger out of him. And he turns into like a hippie. And they're all there going, oh, we should kill this alien. And Rimmer's like, I propose we have a leaflet campaign. That's what this bollocks sounds like. Kids, little kids getting bullied. Why not have a meeting? Fuck off. So this is all bollocks. BBC shit. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. It's fucking boring. It's let's have a fucking meeting, organise a fucking leaflet campaign, sit on a couch and get your head filled full of bullshit from a fucking psychologist that went to a woke university, dyed a fucking hair blue and fired a coach ball through a tongue. It's shit. We all know how you deal with bullying. And what you do is you stand up to the bully. Fucking took loads of research that, didn't it? Took fucking loads of research that. It's age-old advice that everybody who's listening knows is true. And you can say the same adage, you can use the same age-old wisdom to reply to foreign policy. Because if Joe Biden had stood up instead of sitting down and saying, why not organize a leaflet campaign? I mean, is there a better example of what we do? Now, with bullying, you can use the individual child bullying story that I've just told and the many instances for everywhere we behave now in foreign policy. We thought we were over war, we were over conflict. No. You don't have to scare the bullies. You just have to be friends with them. You just have to eat quiche and talk about your emotions with insane Chinese dictators, 5-star generals with fucking 1 billion men under the command, deranged Russians who fucking poison people with polonium. You just have to be mates with them. You can just be friends. Can I find the Rimmer thing anyway? I'm just going to have a quick look on YouTube because it was funny. Here we are. I hope the audio works. It's fucking awful quality, but I can get the sound on. But this is exactly what it reminded me of. This woke bollocks. Rimmer. Here we are.
Your contribution, come on.
There's Rimmer being a hippie. Is the audio on? I hope it is, because I don't fucking know how here we are.
Hey, don't ask me my opinion. I'm nobody. I'm not here.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Moving on a step, and I hope no one thinks that I'm setting myself up as a self-elected chairperson. Just see me as a facilitator. Crichton, what's your view? Don't be shy.
Well, I think we should send Lister in as a decoy. And while it's busy eating him alive, we could creep up on it unawares and blast it into the stratosphere.
Good plan. That's the best plan yet. Let it get knackered eating me to death, and you guys can just catch it unawares.
Well, that's certainly an option, David, yes. But here's my proposal. Let's get tough. The time for talking is over. Call it extreme if you like, but I propose we hit it hard and hit it fast with a major, and I mean major, leaflet campaign.
Is that not what I'm talking about there? Hit it hard and hit it fast with a major leaflet campaign. This is that story personified, and it's the public policy makers' worldview for the last 30 years. Other than that blip with Trump. So he came in and Kim Jong was like, I'm going to fucking nuke you. And he went, go on then, fatty, try it. My button's bigger and my button actually works. Try it. What happened? Oh yeah, all of a sudden, peace with North Korea. They all stopped kicking off. Weird that, innit? China started bullying America. The Chinese have took the piss out of us for 30 fucking years. The Chinese ran tanks over students in Tiananmen Square. And what did we do about it? Suck Chinese cock. Disney works for them. The NBA works for them. The American government works for them. How's the leaflet campaign working out for you, lads? They took notice when Trump started saying, come on then, lads, let's have a fucking go. Nothing happened with Russia when Trump was in charge. So you answer me. Don't you think I get there in the end, Martin? I get there in the end. Started with all of the evidence why the BBC promotes harm to your children and your family. Went to why they're talking complete bollocks about bullying. Proved that. Proved it all because I'm a man of science and rationale. And then use that to segue into the wider foreign policy decisions that we've made, because we have pandered and cowered and begged the bullies for 30 fucking years. And that is why the world is in ruins, because bullies only understand strength. Your dad knew it, your mum knew it, your grandparents knew it. And if you haven't got a head full of cow shit because you're not a woke communist fuckhead, you know it as well. It works. A bully gets in your face, even if he's a big fucker. If you give him a few digs and he goes home with a black eye after he's took your dinner money, he might get the better of you. But he went, you know what? He's got some stones, that little bastard. I'll go and find an easier target. That's what bullies do. That's how you stop bullying. You stand up for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're a primary school kid, a fucking high school kid, a secondary school kid, or a country. You stand up to bullies is what you do. What you don't do is read BBC articles of pure fucking horse shit about the Nordic way to stop bullying. You know it and I know it. If you pay attention, you do. If you don't pay attention, well, go and have your little meeting. Go and sit in a fucking yurt with a beardy weirdy and eat some fucking mushy peas and talk about your feelings and see how that works for you. See how that works for you. And if you're a mother or a father and you're thinking of kids getting bullied at school, I know what I'll do. I won't tell him to confront the little fucker and learn some stones. What I'll tell him to do is to be a cowering fucking loser and have a meeting and sit on a couch and ask the bully nicely. Yeah, cheers, fucking easy. Didn't work with North Korea. Didn't work with China. Doesn't work with the fat ginger 10-year-old with fucking big thumbs. It's so fucking obvious. Right, that was a pretty decent 40-minute rant. Want me to keep going? Are you bored? Because I'm raring to go. I had a week off. I'll leave it to the chat while I have a drink. I'll do another story because I've lined 4 or 5 up. And also rational. Yeah, another bucket full of fucking BBC diarrhea. Yes, Ralph. Don't. Is that true? Really? I like Sargon. Me. I know it's unpopular with a lot of people that watch the channel because he's obviously he does it for a living, so you can't criticize him. I like him. I was very pleased to share a chat room with him once, and I was tempted to say, "Oh, Sargon, I love you, mate. I'm a big fan of your work," but I didn't want to look like some sort of pussy loser, the type of person who'd ask a famous person for an autograph. So I didn't say anything. But I'm a fan of him. I like the bloke. Although I will say he's gone down in my estimation if he really did write his bully a letter. I'm assuming Mr. Sachs has just made that up for his own comical amusement. Right. Okay, I'll do another one. We'll do an hour. Right. The Baftas. Let's talk about the fucking Baftas, shall we? Oh, no. That's gone. Oh, here we are. 7 highlights. That'll do. I did get a piece about the film that won Best Film, and it was basically like a woke fucking cowboy film. But it's bollocks, innit? It's bollocks. Again, this is why I've told you guys as well. Don't give them any money. Don't give them any oxygen. Rotten politics like Sargon. Yeah, I do as well. I feel like it's easy to judge, but when you do it for a living and you've got a mortgage to pay and you've got a wife and kids, you can forgive a bloke for being a lot more concerned about his bottom line. I think it's easy to criticize someone who's doing really well. So Sargon's very milquetoast and he doesn't, he's nowhere near as controversial as me, but I've got fucking not even 10,000 subscribers and I don't get any money, right? I don't have a monetized channel. I have a normal job. I think it's a bit easy to criticize people that have got an eye on the career. So it's I don't slag Sargon off. I like him. Anyway, this fucking shit, the Baftas. So basically, as you might expect, it was unbelievably woke. I just watched a quick GB News coverage by Dan Wootton, and it was unbelievable. Everything about it, the cake, the entire. In fact, it wasn't just a cake, was it? Because I kept this story just to lead into it if I was going to do things professionally. Got this story: celebrities at this year's Baftas will enjoy a sustainable vegan menu sourced in the UK. Woohoo! Like, I mean, I like films because they're entertaining and like good way to kill 90 minutes. I've got nothing to do. I want to see someone get bludgeoned to death with a cricket bat or something entertaining that you can't see in real life. I don't care what they're eating. What type of fucking lunatic cares what they're eating? Who? Does anybody give a fuck? I mean, I wouldn't watch the Baftas anyway, but even if you're into the Baftas and you watch it, are you even going to sit and read pieces about, oh, they're having a sustainable vegan meal sauce? I couldn't give a monkey's fart. I just don't care. And also, that looks fucking dog shit, whatever that is. Is that a fucking raw egg or a pebble? It just looks shit. That doesn't even look edible. That looks like the top bit. You know, midget gems. When I was a little kid, we used to get them like tiny biscuits with a bit of icing on. That looks like the top off a midget gem. Like when you buy, I used to eat like 5 biscuits and save all the bits at the top and then go, yeah, it's granable. That looks like 5 midget gems tops and a couple of pebbles and a fucking raw egg. Apparently, stars of film and TV will enjoy a 3-course vegan menu. Fucking nice one. I'm loving this. So it was woke. That woman with the boy's haircut, shouldn't she? I don't think she's qualified to fucking sell programs outside the Borough Stadium. The woman is fucking useless. That Bond film was probably the only one with Daniel Craig in that I've seen that was fucking dog shit. The end didn't make any sense. Spoilers, if anyone doesn't want to hear it, obviously nobody comes here for movie reviews. Basically, the bad guy tells him, oh yeah, well, I'm injected you with this shit, right? And it means it's a nanotech, right? So you can't even touch your missus. Can't touch your missus, like your DNA is fucked. And you can't shag your missus anymore. So Bond, who could still be of use to the fucking nation and actually has a life and can just shag any other birds he wants, basically commits suicide. Like, it was woke. There was loads of good action in it, but it was woke bollocks. And we were expected to believe that a serial Lothario and womanizer at the end of the film basically commits suicide because he can't fire one into this fucking bird. I mean, it didn't even make sense on the face of it. How long's he known her? A couple of years. He didn't see her for fucking years. And because she could suck a golf ball through a garden hose, he's ready to top himself because he can't fucking bum her again. It doesn't make sense. Just get a new bird. And I mean, you could still have a relationship with her. You can ring her. You can do Zoom calls. You could say hello to your daughter. I mean, you could probably still see it. I don't know how the DNA shit works, it's bollocks. But you could still have a relationship with your missus. Or and possibly, I mean, if you could erect like some plyboard in your bedroom, put 2 wellies on, and then you could probably still shag her. You know, if you just sort of like grabbed hold of both sides. Or I'll tell you what, just take the door off its hinges, bring your front door into the bedroom, put 2 Johnnies on, stick your cock through the letterbox, drive it into your missus, and just sort of, hump the door. Yeah, baby. I mean, it basically sounds like how the Mormons do it through a fucking bed sheet. So there's a plot hole nobody thought of. Everyone else was sitting there going, "Oh, this is so sad." Tears streaming down the face. Oh my God, he loves us so much. He's just committed suicide. Now I'm like, fuck her through your front door, James. James, you're meant to think on your feet. You're a spy. Fuck her through a front door. No, nobody thought of that. I should be a director. Think of all the clever things, right? So it's a load of bollocks. A fucking serial womanizer commits suicide because he can't shag one fucking bird anymore. What a load of shit. And she's getting awards because because she's brown, basically. June won the most prizes, which it probably deserved because I actually did quite enjoy that film. But The Power of the Dog, which sounds fucking pump, proved too powerful when it came to the night's top categories. Yeah, because June wasn't woke and The Power of the Dog was. So the dog shit Benedict Cumberbatch Western took home best film because it was woke and a woman directed it. Everybody knows it. We don't live in a meritocracy anymore. If it was the best film there, June was the best film there. I guarantee it. Because I actually like that. And you know why that was good? Because we don't live in a meritocracy anymore. That was good because they basically followed the original storyline. If they changed it, it'd have been fucking dog shit. Because no one's got a fucking clue anymore. June was good because it was the same as the fucking original. That's why it was good. So it should have won. It definitely should have won. And it didn't because a woman fucking directed this one. Everybody knows it. You hear about Dawn Butler saying, "Oh, the Labour Party's going to take women off the ladder. We don't want women on a ladder to the top. We want them on an escalator." She's fucking special needs, that one. But we all know you have to climb a ladder. An escalator, you can just stand there, you just stick your thumb up your ass and stand still. So what they're basically saying there is, again, the bigotry of low expectations. If you're a woman and you prefer the Labour Party, you're a fucking idiot. Because they're basically saying there, we all know women are a bit useless. They're a bit useless. So we won't expect you to climb. Men can climb. You can just stick your thumb up your ass and stand there like a fucking blancmange, and we'll just push you to the top. Because we know you're not going to be able to compete. You're not as clever as them. You're not as hardworking as them. You're a bit fucking useless. So we'll just push you all the way to the top. We'll hire a fucking Sherpa, a man. We'll hire a Sherpa, definitely a man, to push you all the way to the top of the fucking ladder. In fact, fuck it, we'll get a burly fireman to throw you over his shoulders and he can climb the ladder with one hand, with the other one over your fucking... He can be fingering you with his other hand. He can frig you off while he climbs the ladder with one hand. Yeah, because we're the party of women. If that turns your fucking... If that twists your nipples, you're a lunatic. Ladies, do you want to be fucking have the piss took out of you by these lefty wokesters? Or do you want to actually have some self-respect when you look in the mirror? I mean, you can't put a price on self-respect, can you? Do you want to have some self-respect? The Labour Party is just, and the Lib Dems and the SNP. Again, I don't want to shill for the Conservatives because I'm not voting for them. But if you are one of these fuckers who insists on voting, there is one least worst option of the rest of them. at least they only go on about woke shit 50% of the time. The woke, commie fucking conservatives. The rest of them, Labour Pie, honest to God, that is just so, it's insulting. It's insulting. If I was a woman, I swear down, I told you it reminds me of my old Nana, bless her. She only died a couple of years ago. She was nails, man, Nana. She got threatened, but I told you, one of her best friends got murdered by a fucking loony killer called Colin Jennison. I'm not making up because I bet you can Google the cunt. Colin Jennison, he was called. He killed Liz and he burnt the body. And that was down to policing because she had a restraining order and all this shit. She used to ring the police and say, he's in my back garden. And they go, oh, we can't do anything till he tried something. Pointless. Ended up killing her. She saw the cunt in like quick save. And he went, all right, Hilda. And she went, fuck off. And proper started giving him both barrels in the middle of the fucking supermarket. He was like, you horrible cunt. Like, man, I wasn't scared of anyone. And maybe that's why I think I'm standing up for women with my centrist, reasonable opinions, because I give women the credit they deserve. And the credit women deserve is women are smart, capable, and sensible, and they can stand up for themselves, and they don't need to be fucking patronized. Oh, I don't know why Americans say patronized. Patronized. Patron. If you're a patron, it's like when you go into a pub. You're a patron. Patronized. Women don't like to be patronized by left-wing wokester cunts who just see you and they see a pair of tits and an empty fucking skull. That's what they see. Because they think you're useless. They think you can't do anything on your own. You don't have to climb that. The men have to climb the ladder. But you're just like Stephen fucking Hawking. We'll just flop you onto the escalator and have a male push you to the top. Do you want that in life? Yeah, all right. You might get a little bit of a head start. You might get a few crumbs extra from these fucking scumbags. But do you want that, really? You want to be fucking patronized by these self-serving lefty arseholes? Anyway, I'm on a tangent. Sorry, always do that. So that's why these women are winning everything. That's why that dog shit film got an award. Rebel Wilson made an impression. No, she didn't. Rebel Wilson was about as funny as finding a hard, peculiar lump on your testicles while you're having a shower. That's how fucking funny Rebel Wilson was. And anyone ever done that? It's not fucking funny. Not funny. I'm kidding. I've never done that, fortunately. The Baftas are a more serious and formal affair than a lot of awards show, but it can still be funny. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let's do some of Rebel's laughs, shall we? Everyone's asking me, why did I lose weight? Well, clearly it was to get the attention of Robert Pattinson. Just joking. I did not lose weight for a guy. I did it to get more acting roles. Fucking hell. That is about as funny as catching your fucking foreskin in your zip. How bad's that? And because she's a war comedian, she had to do that bit at the end, didn't she? At least it would have been just a little haha, like a chuckle, a self-depreciating chuckle. If she just said, everyone's asking me why did I lose weight? Clearly to get the attention of Robert Pattinson. That's not bad. You can have a little self-depreciating chuckle at that. But because she's a woke cunt, she had to follow it up on stage with, just joking, I didn't lose weight for a guy. I did it to get more acting roles. Fucking Rimmer. Put Rimmer on. Rimmer, when he's had his fucking anger sucked out of him, is funnier. This is how bad the woke are, isn't it? It's like, imagine when Chris Rock did all of his funny, taking the piss out of black people, basically, jokes, because that's how he got famous. That's how a lot of American comedians do it, because it's fucking lazy. I mean, loads of American comedians, I think Chris Rock's quite good, Dave Chappelle as well, but mainly they got famous because they take the piss out of black people. It's this society we've created. None of the ethnic comedians are my favourites for that respect. Like, Chris Rock's naturally funny, Kevin Hart's pretty funny. They've got an advantage because they get a name for themselves in America. There's loads of them in America. If you're black, you take the piss out of black people. If you're Mexican, you take the piss out of Mexicans. Fucking that Carlos, is it Carlos Mencia? He's fucking shocking. And he's not actually Mexican. I think he's Honduran or something. They all just lie to be able to take the piss out of insert ethnic minority of choice. Asian American comedians. Oh, I'm Asian, so everybody thinks I'm good at maths. It's fucking shit. But imagine them trying to do those jokes if every time you told one, you had to follow it with a line like that because you were woke. Imagine Dave Chappelle saying, oh yeah, every time I hear a car backfire, I throw myself on the floor because I'm in the fucking ghetto and I'm worried about getting shot. Just joking. Just joking. I'm fully aware that African-American people are actually educationally qualified to get jobs just as good as white people, and therefore their socio-economic status improves, and there won't be anywhere near any gunshot violence because that's pretty much confined to urban, ethnic, inner city areas, and the middle classes don't see any of that. And some white people, and some black people, like Cory Brooker and his IBM executive parents, they're not actually in those positions. Doesn't fucking work, does it? So that is terrible. That is fucking terrible. It's not funny. And it even makes it less funny because you've got to follow up with your woke sentence. Just joking. I didn't do it for a guy. You go, girlfriend. What a lot of shit. Is there anything on here that's funny? Lady Gaga's nominated. Don't know. Tom Hiddleston's here, but he isn't nominated. He's just low-key. Oh, fucking. So a pun. A pun. Puns aren't very funny either. Sorry to break it to you. We wanted to open the show with a Bond number because Bond is turning 60 and his girlfriend's turning 25. I suppose that's the best out of them all. I'm proud to announce the new James Bond will be me. He goes to Australia and it's called Die Another Good Day. Fucking just shit puns. And then this one, you know she's only said that. Best original score. Mine was last time I was at the Baftas when I got Idris Elba's phone because he's black. Right? If she'd said, I got Pierce Brosnan's phone number, they wouldn't like that. Straight white man. Idris Elba, I fucking love that. Love that. We love an interracial. Again, normal humans don't think about the race of the people involved. I don't give a fuck. If she wants to go and smoke Idris Elba's pole, you crack on, love. But she's specifically picked a black bloke there because it's the fucking BAFTAs, and you get extra good boy points if you mention an interracial relationship. It's fucking nonsense. Like everything in the world nowadays, it's just a grand nonsense. Like Black Braveheart or everyone in ancient Rome in Britain looked like fucking Desmond Tutu. It's just a fantasy. Everything they tell you is a fantasy. All the advice they give you is a fantasy. It's a fiction. You're better off ignoring it all. Being fat is better than being thin. Being short is better than being tall. Being fucking pig ugly. So your mum had to pull the bastard pram and feed you with a fucking catapult. That's better than being handsome. What do you mean you've got a symmetrical face and good teeth? You should have teeth like a witch doctor's necklace and a face like a fucking bulldog licking piss off a nettle. Yeah, then you'll be happy. Up is down, left is right. The world's gone fucking mad. And every single TV show and commercial you see now, even in America, is a mixed race couple. I seen one yesterday. It was like the bloke was black, the woman was white. The kids looked like fucking, one was like a pygmy and one was like a little Chinese girl. I was like, where the fuck did they come from? Where's the two random orphans broke into your fucking house? I mean, if you're going to have a black man and a white woman, you should have like convincing mixed race white and black children. It's like a fucking orphanage. A pygmy with a bone through the nose and a little Chinese kid. Like everything is just a fantasy nowadays. Everything is a fiction. All the health advice is wrong. Be a fat fucker. Biology's wrong. Just everything. Everything. Oh, anyway, I've gone past an hour. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to call it early. It's just, you just have to laugh. We're living in a fantasy land. Everything you get. Biology's fake. Science. I fucking love science. It's all bollocks. The real world doesn't look anything like it's depicted on television. The adverts are just a fucking fiction. Everywhere you see, there's just blokes snogging each other. Don't see that very often. Not when I'm walking around fucking Walmart. We're living in a crazy time. So you just have to laugh. Piss yourself laughing. It is funny. Like I said, anger is not the right emotion. You just have to laugh and cackle as everything goes wrong, because every time something goes tits up, we get proved right. When they promote this bollocks endlessly on the BBC, and all the kids are depressed and suicidal, and everyone's mentally ill, and everyone's living in a polygender, polyamorous, sexually transmitted disease, fucking self-harm haven. Every day proves me more right. So I'm in a fucking great mood. I love it. I love it. Every day proves me more right. And I'm a chippy northern wanker, so it just cheers me up. And I will keep on chuckling when the gas hits $10 and I'm living on fucking tap water and fucking breath mints. So fuck them, right? We can handle it. No matter what happens, we can handle it better than rebel fucking Wilson can. So who cares? Who cares, eh? Right. Thank you to everybody who's shared it and liked it. Pointless, because Susan doesn't care. She's got me by the short and curlies. Each one of those likes vanishes up her fucking vanishes between her ample beef curtains. So who cares? Who cares if you didn't like it? But I do thank you for watching, because I enjoy talking bollocks on the internet. I'm off. I'll be back tomorrow. Fear not. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow, and we'll do it again. Maybe I'll finish this story. We'll see. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you in a bit. Take it easy.